Hey guys, how are we doing? So I'm going to do a bit of a different YouTube video today. We're going to do like 2 minutes of TA just quickly at the start here, and then we're going to get into the top like 5 tweets of the day. So what are we looking at TA wise? Something to watch for me is the XRP versus BTC chart. This is on the weekly. Let's just go on the hourly quickly so I can just show you what I see. We are really looking to break this descending trend line, and we have been consolidating underneath it for a while, so we're getting trapped by the moving averages between that and this descending trend line, so we could see a real push out from XRP against the BTC dominance. So if that happens, obviously XRP will gain value against BTC, which is obviously what we all want to see if you're an XRP holder. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, what I think could happen and what could play out in the coming days with Bitcoin. This is just obviously personal speculation, not financial advice at all. It's a very speculative market. We had a green engulfing candle yesterday for Bitcoin. We've already had a red engulfing candle today. So that means that we could see a continued downtrend. What do I think we will see? So we've had this impulsive wave up here, and I think we'll have a retracement wave probably down to around this level, because it will double as a support with the 50-day moving average and the 36,000 level, and then out of this zone. That's what I'd like to see. Maybe not a straight line like that, but maybe something a bit like this. Boom, 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 boom. Out we go. Like that. That's something I'd be looking to see. But we also have been using this level here as support, so we could again just consolidate here, be a bit painful, not really do too much, and then start to move out from that zone again, not straight out like that like I've just displayed, but similar to those levels. Similar thing happening with XRP. We've had this double bottom formation, bang bang into there, out we've come, we're stuck between the 50 and the 200-day moving averages. To be fair, with XRP, I would predict more of an explosion than what we have in Bitcoin, because we haven't really seen XRP pop yet. However, it could come down and retest the top of this 65 cent level before starting to head out of this zone. However, I personally think we will move from here, but that's just my personal speculation and my personal opinion based on nothing more than that. So let's get straight into what I want to talk about today. Where do I want to start? Let's get rid of that. Let's not start there. Let's start here. So obviously, as we know, Ethereum's London hard fork went live today. That's why there's been a big pump on Ethereum. So we had about a 10% move yesterday on Ethereum. The EIP 1559, the deflationary aspect of that was the most interesting thing for me personally. That means that every single time there's an Ethereum transaction, that some Ethereum is going to be burnt. Actually, let me just check that I am recording this. Yeah, I am. Cool. That means that some Ethereum is going to be burnt every single time there's a transaction, which makes it a deflationary asset, like I said, which means that the supply over time will become smaller, and that will in turn increase the value of each Ethereum token. So Joe Lubin, who is one of the founders of Ethereum, said Ethereum is becoming ultrasound money. Basically, he says, with 13 billion worth of Ether locked up in Ethereum 2.0 and 70 billion locked up in decentralized finance, we have an enormous demand for Ether token. So basically what he's saying is Ethereum is going to be ultrasound money, essentially. So the meme refers to EIP 1559's proposal burn mechanism that could result in Ethereum supply becoming deflationary after more Ethereum is destroyed than created. Each transaction will burn a fee. We have a burn base fee, resulting in a decreasing supply of the asset from now on. Some believe that this will give ETH stronger value proposition than Bitcoin as ultrasound money. So we're a fixed amount of gold on the planet, and we're a fixed amount of Bitcoin represents sound money to certain people. With 13 billion worth locked up of Ether and ETH 2.0 and 70 billion locked in decentralized finance, we have enormous demand for Ether token. And now we're burning the Ether token with the introduction of the London hard fork, he added. So exactly what I've just been saying there. The most important part of it is that they are going to be burning some Ethereum every single time there's a transaction now, making it essentially a deflationary asset. So what have we got next? This is pretty interesting from Crypto Rand. I think it is as much of a clickbait as anything else. It says, breaking, Uruguay might follow El Salvador, make Bitcoin and crypto legal tender. And then this is the article saying Uruguayan lawmaker proposes bill to allow crypto to be used for payments. 4th of August, an earlier version of the article said Sartori's bill would treat crypto as legal tender. The lawmaker said it would only allow businesses crypto payments. A senator from Uruguay has introduced a bill to allow businesses to accept cryptocurrencies as payments and regulate their use within the South American country. The bill, which was presented on Tuesday by Senator Juan Sartori, seeks to provide legal, financial and fiscal security in business derived from production and commercialization of cryptocurrencies. Crypto assets will be recognized and accepted by law and applicable in any legal business. They will be considered a valid mean of payments in addition to those included in financial inclusion law, as long as they comply with the rules set forth in the law and regulation, the bill said. Sartori's bill would also establish that cryptocurrencies are products of free sale by those entities and individuals who wish to commercialize them, and states that any natural or legal person may receive and or send funds in legal tender from and to their own bank accounts or those licensed companies. However, the bill stops short of actually treating cryptocurrencies as legal tender. So they are going to be accepting it as value, but they aren't going to be making it legal tender. That's why I said it's a bit of a clickbaity title. But it still does mean that it is a step forwards, obviously. We have got countries looking to accept cryptocurrencies, even for business. That's still a great step forward, isn't it? Another country. And then this is another thing that I wanted to bring you guys' attention to. A lot of people get stuck in the mindset that market cap is a ceiling for cryptocurrency, and I always argue that in any growing asset class it isn't a ceiling, but especially one that is supposed. This doesn't really make sense as well. Well, it kind of does, but because it's still talking about a commodity here essentially, and I know that crypto could be considered a commodity, but my argument that is crypto is going to implement or the financial rails are going to be run on crypto. So any market cap that you can imagine, crypto would engulf that and probably add extra value. So it would create a larger market cap because the whole of the financial system, as we know it already, which at the minute is inflationary, will be run on the rails of cryptocurrency. So there is no ceiling to the market cap, in my opinion. We can obviously discuss that if anyone wanted to do that. Like, it's fine. It's just my opinion. Market cap. This is Stephen W. Huber. He's quite an interesting guy on Twitter. He's quite controversial, but I do quite like his content too. Market cap doesn't really matter. It's all about demand and supply. As an example, consider the tulip mania, where a single tulip bulb was sold for over 400 Florentine guilders. I don't know if that's how you spell it. If that's how you say it, hopefully, which is equivalent to about $4 million today. So that was in 1619 to 1622, when there was a massive craze on tulips. It was the first real bubble that we saw back in the day on tulip bulbs. So he's basically just saying that in any asset class, as long as the demand is there, then the market cap is almost irrelevant. But I agree with that, but then at the same time think that long term market caps are relevant in crypto, as I said, because the whole financial system will probably run on that one day, which crypto it is, and probably an accumulation of a few, and everything becomes tokenized, real estate, everything. So when that happens, it's the whole market cap of the world will be run on cryptocurrency. So as long as, and that's not just cash supply, that's actual value that exists in the world, will be run on crypto rails, just because it's faster, easier, more transparent. But that's just my opinion. And then finally, French asset manager wins approval to launch Bitcoin ETF in the EU. Among stocks, the fund will track. The fund will track Argo blockchain, Riot blockchain, Galaxy Digital, and Voyager Digital. French asset manager Melanonin Capital won regulatory approval to launch an exchange-traded fund ETF to track the price of Bitcoin for those investors across the European Union. The Paris-based firm received approval from the French regulators to launch a fund that will track a basket of up to 30 stocks with a 90% correlation to Bitcoin's price, according to an emailed statement yesterday. So this could be big news for cryptocurrency in general, guys. They'll be charging a 0.75% fee. If it's 90% in line with Bitcoin, I don't know if they have to back it with any Bitcoin. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. While there have been many Bitcoin-backed exchange-traded products listed in Europe, most European regulators apply a look-through approach, rendering them ineligible for most institutional investors due to investment restrictions. But basically, an ETF will always be good for any institution. That means they can trade a product or have exposure to a product without actually holding a product that may not have regulation. So essentially what we want is a complete ETF for the United States, really, because they're about 50 to 54% of the global equities market. And currently the countries that have ETFs in Bitcoin are Canada and I think Brazil now. But Canada is about 2% of the world's ETF market, and they locked up about 40,000 Bitcoin with their ETF. So on that logic, America's 25 times bigger, and so 25 times 40,000 is a million Bitcoin, and that would mean that 1 million out of the 21 million total supply, or the 19 million circulating supply, would have to be locked up. So imagine the amount that takes off the exchanges that's already not being locked up, and that could bring a massive supply shock to the market, hence why we could see a big boom off the back of that. But yeah, last little tweet that I wanted to talk about. Anyway, it's nice to see regulators talking about ETFs, is what is my point with that. Hopefully we can see one come out of the United States. So if you've not seen it already, this is from Brian Quintez. I'm not very good with names. Just so we're all clear, the SEC has no authority over pure commodities or their trading venues, whether those commodities are wheat, gold, oil, or crypto assets. So shots fired from the CFTC. Brian Quintez, he's going after the SEC. There's going to be a Royal Rumble. We're going to see Gary Gensler versus Brian Quintez in the red corner. No, I don't know what's going on here, but it seems like it's a bit of a show. It's just a flex of power. This whole suit, I hope it isn't like this, because if it is, it's just a bit embarrassing, isn't it, for the US, that the CFTC and the SEC are just having an open argument about who should be regulating crypto rather than actually sorting it out for the retail investor, which is what they're both meant to be doing in general. And then we had this tweet from Chris Giancarlo. Only one US regulatory agency has experience in regulating markets for Bitcoin and crypto, and it's not the SEC, it's the CFTC. If Biden administration is serious about sensible cryptocurrency regulation, it needs to nominate a CFTC chairman. So it is going down on Twitter, guys, which I think is pretty ironic, as Gary Gensler has just made his Twitter. I do want to see what comes from this, and I do want to see if it actually affects the Ripple case in any way. Also, yesterday, we saw Gary Gensler's, I talked about it yesterday on my YouTube video, we saw Gary Gensler saying that there's a lot of regulatory clarity and that basically it's already been there, and he backs up what Jay Clayton was saying and all this crap. But how can you have two high up SEC workers, I've forgotten what they're called now, I'm talking about Elad Roisman and Hester Pierce, both coming out of the commissioners. 2 out of 5 of the commissioners coming out saying there's no regulatory clarity. Then you've got the head of the SEC saying it's absolutely obvious, how can you not know? Well, how come 2 out of the 5 commissioners in your own organisation don't think it's regulatory clear on regulation, and then you say it's so clear that it's obvious? I don't think that can make any sense to anybody. It's just a ridiculous thing to say, and it shows the incompetence of the SEC. I know they're under lawsuit, I know he has to say that, but it's just getting a bit of a joke now. Like, come on, guys, put your ego aside and sort out the market straight up. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this sort of like different video, let me know. I quite enjoyed talking through the news with you guys. I want to know what your guys' comments are to this. It makes me a bit like, it makes me laugh. I might follow this guy. Go on then, Brian Quintez. You get a follow from me, my man. Let's get you on my podcast, see what you got to say for yourself. But anyway, guys, yeah, thank you for tuning in, and let me know what you think. Share it with a friend if you enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 4,000 viewing hours so I can monetize my YouTube. That'd be absolutely awesome. I've got 2,000 followers now on YouTube. I'm so gassed with that. So thank you to everyone who watches my videos on the daily. I see you all in the comments. I do try and reply to every single comment. I do really appreciate everyone who stops in. But yeah, thank you for the love, guys. I am going away this weekend, so I might not be making a YouTube video for the next couple of days. But yeah, appreciate you all, and hopefully speak to you on the next one. See you soon.